Hello, hello. It's Big Cheds. It's Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. A very warm hello, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This is a replay of the Spaces, Twitter Spaces that I did just yesterday on Twitter. Like I just said, Twitter twice. These are great conversations where I get to listen to you folks. I get to hear what you're thinking, and we kind of talk it out. On my YouTube, Ched's Trading, check out that playlist, Twitter Spaces, and you'll get all these conversations. So I'm uploading this right now. We've got 15. This is the 15th conversation. So I'm going to be hanging out here in the chat room as things go along. So, feel free to ask questions. I'll try to get to them. But either way, this is a replay. I hope you enjoy it. And anyway, just thank you once again. Appreciate you. Thank you for everything. So here we go. All right. I guess I've been on mute the whole time. Folks, thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient. I was just going through my spiel. Please go ahead. First of all, if you're listening to this on replay at some time in the future, and I've uploaded this to my YouTube channel, that's where I like to keep these for safekeeping under the playlist Twitter Spaces. While you're there, you want to check out the masterclass webinar playlist. You want to check out the Trading Wisdom playlist, which is the free version of my book. The book's available on Amazon in 4 different formats. You can get it for free on YouTube. I also have another book I'm getting ready to publish in the next month or so. It's a book of quotes. I think you'll like it a lot. It's called Trading Quotes. Check out Bitcoin Live if you're serious about learning how to trade. I do a twice a week full market update, and I'm just one member on a team. You get access to everyone's content when you sign up. It is literally a world-class team. I think probably the best team of analysts for Bitcoin anywhere. So I'd encourage you to check that out. Really proud to be part of that. These are fun conversations. I like to hit a few buttons on my phone and be able to speak to you, hear from you. And that's what this is all about. So right now, there's only 4 people who've requested to speak. Let's get that number up. Hit that button in the bottom left. I've got 250 people listening. Only 4 of you have have a question. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. Hit that request to speak button. I'm going to bring you up. I'll bring you up, and please wait until I call you. And that is going to be the format. So I'm going to wait just a few more minutes. I want to see more people requesting to speak because it's really you who make this conversation worth it. So we're going to sit here and wait until more of you request to speak. Come on, folks. Don't be shy. This is your chance. Just a few of you requested already. But like I said, I get through to everybody. We usually get about 30 or 40 questions. These are great conversations. I'm going to start bringing people up. Please wait until I call you. Please wait until I call your name. And that way we can keep things flowing. Let's start out with On God Sarahan. I've spoken to you before. I recognize that name. On God. What's going on? Hey, how you been, buddy?
So my question is, Chad, that we had a discussion like 3 months back, and
Yeah.
you said some things about journaling, and I
Yeah.
followed that, and
Good.
I did journal every trade and all that, and now the issue is that I don't have so much hours because right now I'm in my college, so I
Yeah.
shifted my style to swing trading. And
Mm.
the issue is that earlier I used to do day trade, but I lost a couple of trades. Then I thought, no, this is not a good idea. I have to increase
Yeah.
my screen timing. So the problem is screen timing. So now I'm giving like 1.5 hour or 2 hour. So the issue is that in swing trading, the all the process, it becomes like boring. Are you getting me?
Trading should be boring. Most of the time, there's nothing to play. If trading should be boring, right? Most of the time we're just waiting for an opportunity, and most of the time there really isn't one. So trading should be boring. It's when we try to make it exciting is when we do stupid things and
Yeah, yeah.
that are careless.
Yeah, yeah. It happens in the day trade. I did some stupid things. Then I realized that no, this is not the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So,
So listen, you know, it won't be boring. You know, you don't have to play every trade. You can still study things, and you can even paper trade them and practice, you know, what you might have been doing. But you should really be really patient. Just wait for those really good opportunities to, you know, jump up and grab your attention. So, don't if it's boring, that's good. That means you're being patient. So boring is good. All right.
yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. And one little question, like super fast.
Yeah.
The second thing is that
Real quick, brother. Real
on
quick. Real
Twitter,
quick.
nowadays I'm feeling that Twitter, like it's a chaos everywhere. Like
Yeah.
everybody is talking their perspective with their perspective,
Yeah.
and so I thought that I should turn down this Twitter thing altogether.
Good.
Like,
Do it. Step away.
yeah. Okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it, man. Do it. When you have too much information, step back and reassess. All right. Thank you, brother. It's good to hear from you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Chad. You have helped me a lot. Thank you so much.
Stay strong, man. Thank you. All right. Let's go to Femi. Femi, what would you like to say?
Nothing, man. Just thank you so much for the work, and I just wanted to get a bit of a market commentary, the way things are right now macroeconomically, and where you see BTC and ETH at the moment, especially with the recent merge, and I guess appeal to institutions as a result. Is there a possibility that the next run can come maybe as a result of a ETH flipping in or whatnot? Yeah,
Having
would be
trouble
interesting.
hearing you. I'm having a lot of trouble hearing you, but I think I have a sense of your question. Thank you
Sorry,
for
I'm at
stepping up. Just a lot of background noise there. Um, I mean, we're going to talk about that a lot today, but I mean, you know, Ethereum had the merge hype. It's been cooling off from that. It's still trying to hold that key horizontal level around 1250. Bitcoin's trying to form a W bottom. It's not making it easy for us to kind of go either way. It gave us some type of a long signal on the failed breakdown from the triple inside bar. And then that bounce is fading today. So, I mean, nothing's easy right now. But if you step back, Bitcoin's still a strong downtrend. It's below the weekly 200. It's kind of hanging around the bottom of the daily range. So you want to be cautious, but it doesn't mean, but still look for opportunity. If the trend reverses, you want to get a piece of it. So you can, again, try to go long if you want at 20K. That didn't work last time. Maybe it'll work next time. You can go long if it breaks 22.5, and you can go long if it breaks 25.5. So give yourself opportunities if things turn around. But, you know, for the meantime, bears are still in control. Let's get some of these folks up here. Ninja Paradox. What's going on, man? And folks, hit that request button. I'd love to hear from you. This is a candid conversation. We're all speaking. We're just hanging out as friends here. Ninja ETH, Ninja Paradox. Are you there, buddy? Not Robin. Wait your turn, my friend. Ninja, are you there? Ninja 5-4. All right, Copy Trader. What's up, Copy Trader, man?
Hey, what's up, big Cheds? I love you, brother.
How are you? Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Love Bitcoin Live and love what you guys do, you, Bob, and the rest of the analysts. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on tokenomics? So where you've got a crypto project where they're burning tokens, obviously to reduce the supply, to increase the demand, and to increase the price. Do you factor any of that? I know.
Is it working? Is it working? Are the things? I mean, like, I don't care what they're trying to do. Is it working?
So it did work, right, until there was the
Yeah.
massive Luna fiasco. But really what my kind of question is pointed to is, do you think burning a load of tokens, which Caesar said about the Luna Classic situation, do you think that will make a crypto price rise long term? And do you believe in those types of
No,
economics?
definitely not. Definitely not. No. No, I think it could give you a short-term pump based on hype. I mean, you know, who knows? They may just create more tokens later. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. You know, just focus on if look, it's a good theory that, like, yes, if there's less supply, right, the price should go up. But is there demand? Like, I get cutting supply, but is there demand? So you have to just watch the demand. Demand is support. Does the price hold support, right? If this move is good, you'll see it break resistance and turn it into support. So if you want to think long term, you have to start by rebuilding the chart. Does the chart rebuild itself or not? Just wait and watch. I would never buy based on that kind of information. That's a fool's errand, right? Never ever buy based on an idea of the price maybe going up in the future because of some event. Just wait and watch the price. Let it filter it out for you. If that matters, it will break a resistance and turn it into support. I mean, just wait and watch and see if that happens first.
Yeah, got it. Because I do think there's a lot of eager people ready to buy in these types of markets, which is obviously tough given the macroeconomic situation. So
Which
no,
coin are we talking about? What are we talking about? Luna Classic?
yeah, exactly. I'm talking about Luna
Why are you
Classic.
messing around with that stuff? That's a complete waste of time.
No, I'm not messing around with it. I'm just seeing that there's a huge community, right? So now,
That's
do
a
I
huge
think?
red flag. Big community is big red flag.
Love it. I love it.
No, it's true. It's true. It's the truth. The biggest scams, the biggest dogs have the biggest group of bag holders sitting there holding each other, promising that it's going to get better in the future. Like, that's the worst. That's like a huge red flag for me. It's just stay away from that. Just focus on a clean chart that has liquidity. It's got a nice clean uptrend. And plus something like that's already been burned once. Retail has already lost trust in it. It's not going to come back. Like, you just got to stay away from those things, man. Go wait for something fresh and new, right? Like Sol came out of nowhere and it was like a super duper winner in 21, right? Wait for something new, not some old garbage that's going to try to rebrand, recycle. That's what I'm thinking. All right.
Cheers, brother. Really appreciate your insights.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for stepping up. I see some friends here in the chat room. I'm going to try to get to you. Let's go for my buddy Saiful. Nice to have you back, Saiful Saeed. What's up, Saeed? Saiful Saeed. I'll give you a few moments. Hey, what's up, man?
Hi, what's up? Can you hear me properly?
I can hear you properly.
Right. I just wanted to find out from you, because I've heard you talking about before the market bottoms out or tops out, the sentiment, the market sentiments tops out or bottoms out. Yeah. So at the moment, if you see the CT or even the permanent bulls, they are even talking like, okay, we are going down to 14K, we are going down to 12K, 13K. Yeah. So do you not think the sentiment has changed? It was bearish before, but it's like now super bearish. So do you see that change in the sentiment in the market?
No.
Still not.
No, it's just a choppy sentiment. There's still too much there's still no sentiment bottom. You really got to see people giving up across the board. And you just haven't seen it. I mean, we're still hanging around 17K. We're still hanging around. We keep poking our head up above 20K. It's still enough. There's still enough enthusiasm and hope. You even got me to go long in a trade. I got stopped out, but I mean, there's still enough bullish movement that it's not sentiment bear yet. It's just you haven't had a sentiment bottom. You'll know when you see it, man. You won't need to ask me.
Right.
You'll know. Trust yourself. You will know when you see a sentiment bottom. You will not have to ask me.
Right. Yeah. I've got another question in terms of the chart. Yeah.
Real quick, brother. What do you got?
Yeah, real quick. With ETH, I've shorted ETH from when it was broken down. I identified the head and shoulder around 1450. Yeah. So I've shorted that, and now it went down to 1200. I'm still on the trade. I put the.
Did you take profit? You've taken profit, right?
I've put it on a break even. I didn't take the profit.
Oh, Bitcoin's under 19K. What a nasty candle so far today. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What are you washing out here? Oof. All right. So what? You're in a short, and Ethereum. Look, Ethereum, the level is 1420, right? What did you say? What was your entry?
My entry was 1450.
1450. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at 1420, 1430 as kind of the overhead resistance. I put out a tweet about that. As Bitcoin was bouncing, as Ethereum was bouncing, I said, overhead 1420. It's giving people a heads up of kind of an area of interest. And if you flip that, you go long. But if you want to fade it, if you want to short it, that's a level. We didn't even get there. So
yeah,
looking pretty good.
Yeah, I shorted this on the retest because I thought that's the head and shoulder, and then when it came down and went up and tested the neckline, then I shorted it. So do you think it's a valid pattern? Like
who cares? Who cares? You're already in profit on your trade. Stop trying to name the pattern.
Okay.
Like, come on. The pattern name doesn't matter. It's like, can you execute your risk? You entered thinking it would go lower. You got a good entry. You should have your stop loss and profit by now. Who cares what the name and the pattern is? Like, just pick a level and follow it and manage your risk. Don't get too academic. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. Sean. I know you don't have Sean in your name anymore. Think big, but I believe it's Sean, right?
Nick, yeah.
Nick. Yeah. Not Sean. What's up, Nick? How you doing? Good to see you.
Likewise, brother. Thanks for doing this. Hey,
Hanging out.
Looking
Oh,
back,
hold on. By the way, folks, hit that button to request to speak. 400 people here, only 8 requests. So please hit that request to speak. Nick, go ahead.
cool. Just a macro question for you.
Yep.
Looking back to last year, all the girls that I run with were looking at the China ban as almost an opportunity for North American miners. And man, at this point, I feel like it was sort of a missed signal on my part. Looking back, what do you think we could have done different to really take advantage of that signal?
You're talking about the signal where China banned Bitcoin. Was that when was that? Like 45, 46K?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
I don't really care. Like, I can tell you what the chart, what the Bitcoin price did. I kind of have it in my head for the last 6 months, but I don't know where that China thing is. Like,
I mean,
you
they
don't
sold
need
the top.
You what?
They sold the top.
China sold the top of Bitcoin?
Looks like it.
What? So it was November?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, the Bitcoin chart has given us great signals from 69K down. So, I mean, you don't need to look outside the chart and lament on like the minor signal, because there's better signals in the chart. We had the false breakout at the end of March where we broke above 46K, hit that MA200, and was immediately back below 46K. I mean, that was your sell signal. I mean, lament for not selling there, not like when, China or whatever happened, or the outside bars, the up thrust double top in November. You don't none of that. That's not important. The chart gave you everything you need, and it will continue to give you everything you need, because it's just
Cool.
the price. It's the price holding support or not. It's momentum. So it's okay to miss it. Just try to learn from what you missed on the chart. Outside the chart may or may not be important. The chart tells you if it's important. So there's no way to time your trade based on something outside of the chart, because you don't know if it matters. Right? That's all
Cool, buddy.
speculation.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? All right. Take care, brother. All right. Let's go with Simple TA. Tiles Pablo. And folks, when I bring you up, please let me handle the microphone. Do not unmute yourself until it's time. Tiles, Simple TA, Pablo Tiles. What is up? Give you a few seconds, folks. This is a candid conversation. I'm Big Cheds on Twitter. You have to go to Cheds Trading on YouTube. I have a ton of stuff for you, especially if you're trying to learn how to trade. Check out the masterclass webinar playlist. How about you, CP? We win, you lose. CP, are you there, buddy?
Hey, bro. How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
What are your thoughts on market cycle indicators besides the stock to flow, of course?
I think it's stock to flow is useless. Stock to flow is useless.
Yeah, 100%. What are your thoughts on the other ones?
The price is the only thing you need. I mean, price and sentiment. Sentiment plus TA is all you need, right? So you can study the market participants, and then study the chart. It's going to give you, and honestly, sometimes it's the most simple, just horizontal strategy. So, like, if you look what happened with Bitcoin last November, it made a high in October, right? Like late October, and then it broke it again like 2 weeks later, but it came back below it, right? So always pay attention when like it can achieve a milestone and then it quickly loses it. That's like a momentum signal in the other direction. So if you just try to time your trades on those little momentum signals, it's just a lot easier than trying to use, fear and greed or stock to flow or like some on-chain analysis. That's fine, but like you really should just pay attention to what the price is doing, and clean horizontal levels. All right.
All right, sweet, bro. Thank you for that. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on the market cycle indicators anyway. Thank you.
I think you can look at sentiment and TA. Check out my YouTube. Check out the masterclass webinar playlist. You'll love it. All right.
Sweet, bro. All right. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you so much. I don't think Simple TA is back. Pablo, if you're there. If not, we're going to go to Danny. Danny Kalani, what is up?
Hey, good to talk to you again.
Yeah, I recognize your name. How you doing?
Good. So I've been cruising through the that CMT level 1 book, and it's been really good.
It's a lot. There's a lot of stuff there, right?
It's it's definitely a lot more than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going through it a little bit quickly, but I'm still taking notes and stuff like that. But the main part of my question was, so I'm kind of trying to line up the next book because I know you recommended the one by Nissen and Shabacker.
Have you read Peter Brandt's book?
Yes, I actually read that one, and that kind of, between that and you, inspired me to do the CMT because I was like,
good.
I just feel like this is basic stuff that I should have already known. But it was a great book. Between the Japanese candlestick charting techniques and technical analysis and stock market profits, if you had to pick one, which would you read?
Between say it again. What's my choices?
The one by Steve Nissen and Shabacker.
Yeah.
Which of those two would you recommend reading next?
Oh, next.
Yeah. Is there like a good order? You'd be like,
the yellow book, the Nissen book's a lot easier.
Okay.
So if I was to tell a brand new trader, I have them start with the candlestick book, right?
Okay.
Because the Shabacker book can be a little bit intimidating.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
especially if you have like no practice or anything. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been trading. I've been trading, investing for a number of years, so it's like I'm not like super unfamiliar with it, but it's just kind of like a good reminder. This has all been either a good reminder or learning things that I hadn't like delved into before, between like relative strength and stuff like that. So
yeah, check out the Nissen book. It's a very easy read, and then you'll blow through that, and then move on to Shabacker.
Okay, cool. All right, I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks for stepping up, folks. I will pin that tweet to this Spaces so you can see what books we're talking about. Thanks, Danny.
Awesome, thanks.
Let's get Casey up here next. And while Casey's stepping up, I'm going to attach that tweet. Casey, what's going on?
Yeah, I just I had a quick question on exchanges. Being a resident in the U.S., what's the preferred exchange that you use as far as a margin account to enable shorting?
Textbook recommendations. I'm going to add this. I just added the textbook recommendations. Give me just 1 second. So there's not something I really talk about that I can really recommend here in the Spaces, but I'll send you a DM and kind of see what's going on, and we'll talk about it. All right.
All right.
Do you have a question?
Yep. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions, or is that it?
That's it.
All right, man. Stay strong. Thank you. Next up, we have Bubble. What's going on, Bubble Chaser?
Yeah, hi, Chad. Thanks for hosting the Spaces.
Sure.
I just saw your tweet today that you're getting a lot of salty comments, even if the market is going up. You are making some bullish tweets, and if the market goes down, there are some bearish tweets. You also get some salty comments. And I see that I know that the macro environment is super bearish right now, and everybody is calling for a lower Nasdaq, SPX, and the thing is that even the hardcore scammers like Superman are calling for a 12K.
Who?
So at this point,
Superman?
Superman.
Is that like a YouTuber or something?
Yeah, YouTubers from the 2017 bull run.
Was he right though? Was he right in November? I'm only interested in hearing from people who were right in October, November of 21.
I don't know, but my concern is that like everybody is calling for 12K. Like, isn't it too obvious that we won't either reach 12K?
Point. I don't care what people who were wrong before are saying now. I've heard this so many. I just don't care. Show me someone who was right in October and November. I'm one of them, but there's plenty of them. Let me hear what they're saying. Okay. And look, people like smart people were calling for 12K back in April. Not, I get that it's September, October, and we're almost there. But just because, just because the rest of the people are catching up doesn't make it a bad idea. Right? No, look, I don't care what people who are wrong before are saying now. That's just, I'm a little bit animated at this topic,
So what do you think might happen? We will go much lower, or we might not reach 12K at all?
Exactly.
What are the probabilities?
All of them, brother. All of them, man. We got to wait and see. Bitcoin's still trying to do a double bottom. It's trying to do a double bottom. There's three. I've done this in all the space. There's three variations: higher low, equal low, or lower low. I think the best chance for Bitcoin to reverse, given the bad momentum on longer time frames, is a lower low W. Doesn't mean we don't, bottom right here. We'll have to wait and see. But look, we're still below the weekly 200. We still haven't closed above the weekly EMA 8. I mean, bears still have the edge, but you still want to be ready for the trend to reverse. So just pay attention to the levels. Man, all the probabilities are on the table.
Yeah.
All right.
But at least we are close to much closer to the bottom.
Don't focus on the fact that because everybody's calling for whatever, it's probably not going to happen. That's just lazy analysis. All right. Don't pay attention to people who were wrong before. And because they were wrong before, they're probably wrong now. That's not, maybe they're right this time. And they're just pay attention to the people who were right before. All right. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. I think I came across a little harsh on that answer, so I want to apologize. I get so when people say everybody's this and everyone was wrong before. I did a Spaces with a guy, another host was one of these big accounts, something NL, and it was like, oh well, everybody was calling for 100K before, so they're all calling for 12K now. That means it's not happening. I'm like, no, you were calling for 100K before. All right, next up we have Scott. Scott White, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you? And by the way, Thank you everyone for listening.
Hey, I listened to your. I got here late on this one, but I usually listen to most yours, and I follow you quite a bit. You and a couple other guys. Yesterday, I tweeted. It looked like it closed above that 8 EMA, and you said no, I just below or right at on my chart.
It showed at the 8 EMA. It closed at it. I mean, if it's within a few dollars, I mean, when it closes above, it needs to be clearly above. There should be no debate.
What is clearly above?
I mean, what was the price? What was the Let's see. Let me go take a look here because I'm on my phone. But it was. I'm looking at here, and I looked at it. And it was basically sitting right on it. I mean, that's not even close. That's not even close to closing above it. That's closing at it. If it had closed up near the top of the session, 19.3, you could say, all right, that's starting to close above it, right? If it had closed up at 19.5, you're like, looks like it, it looked like we were going to do it today, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like we were really going to do it today. But if you're closing basically at like a moving average is like a trend line, there's a price filter around it, right? There's a little bit of an up or down around it. It's a zone, it's a range, right? When you draw a trend line, it's not about identifying a line, it's about identifying a trend, right? Same thing with the moving average, there's a little filter around it. So if you're trying to say, look, we recaptured the EMA 8, it needs to look like it's actually recaptured it, not basically still within the orbit of it, like the gravity of the moving average is going to pull it right back to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you had talked about that, it being, we were within that the line of that one on September 21st. I think that was the one you had.
So that's a big candle. That's a big candle, not only because of the candle range, but the volume behind it. And in candlestick theory, you want to pay attention to the highest volume candle in a series or kind of in a range, in a consolidation range. So that's a very important candle. So you set that upper and lower boundary as a pivot. You can go long above it, short below it.
Gotcha. I had one other thing too I was talking about. So when it broke above that candle range, was that, that was a reason to go long there?
Absolutely, yeah. Because you can clearly define your thesis. Your thesis is above that.
Gotcha.
I'm long above that level, right? And now it came back below it. Now you have a deviation. Now you can short because you clearly define your idea. Any trade idea you can clearly define as a good idea.
Okay.
Right? All right.
So I had one more. Those are the two things that was.
Okay. Go ahead, real quick.
On the pattern that we were talking about, the Hayaki, is that how I say it? And
Haikaki, whatever. Yeah. Just think of it as a trap. Just think as the word is trap. It's a trap. It's a false break from a tightening range.
See, and that's how I read it, and I stayed out of it. I watched it. I figured that's exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
My question is, with that and that pattern playing out almost exactly like you said, a lot of people took that as a bullish sign. I took it as a bearish sign.
No, it was a bullish sign.
For short term.
It was a bullish short-term sign. It showed that there was a false bear break. It was a bullish Akake. It was a false bear break.
Gotcha.
All right. Take care, brother.
Thank you.
Keep grinding. Thank you. All right. Let's go to One Truth. Nice to see you again, One Truth. What's going on? One Truth.
There we go. Sorry, I was muted. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. What's up with you, buddy?
Yeah, so if everybody's saying that it's going to go down to 12,000, don't you think that?
Who's everybody?
I'm kidding, man. I'm just messing with you.
You got me. You got me.
My question is,
Dave, please do not unmute Dave. Let me handle your audio. Go ahead, One Truth.
Yo, so W pattern, as you said, can be reversal or continuation, right? So
no, well, W is any pattern can be reversal or continuation if it invalidates. I mean, a W is a double bottom. It doesn't confirm until it breaks the top. It can invalidate and continue, right? 2/3 of them fail. So it's a reversal pattern. If it fails, I guess you could call it a continuation, but no, it's a reversal pattern.
Okay, it is a reversal pattern. So is that reversal pattern complete when it hits the top right of that W, and at that point it would be confirmed if it continues past that that price that was the left side of the W, and is that the finish of the W, or is it the bottom?
No, that's a great question. So first of all, when you think about the construction, you think about a big upside down capital W, right? And at the top you have the peak, and at the bottom is the trough, right? The low. Now, in between the two troughs, you need something called time interval. So you need time in between the temps, right? If it hits it once and then it hits it like a few days later, that's not an attempted double bottom. That's just one bottom area, right? You need time in between. Okay, so it's not. People often call it a double bottom when it's making that second low, but that's not a double bottom. That's just two thrusts. You have just two moves down. It's not a double bottom until it comes back up and breaks the top of the first high, that peak.
Oh, okay. So not even the middle one, that first one on the left side, not the middle, but the left side.
There is no real middle. There's really just the top and the bottom.
Okay, got you.
I mean, the middle is if you want to mess around and get chopped around. But, the bottom is the bottom. The top is your confirmation breakout. In this case, it's a zone between 25 and 25.5K. That's your peak right now. Your low is 17.5. I think the ideal scenario, if I'm a bull, is I want to see a quick drop to like 16K, 16.5, and then bounce and flip the 17.5. Turn that into a spring or a false bear break. Trigger all those stop losses from people who went long at 17.5 and kept their stop loss, at 17.5. You wipe out all the stop losses, then it can really bounce. So, if you look at Bitcoin over if you've traded it for any number of time and number of years, it does this on lower time frames. It's done in the daily, where you get the second low with the lower low is the best setup for a bounce, because you eliminate all the stop losses in the first low and then it bounces.
And that's kind of what it just did, and then just reversed back down, right?
Well, it's only went down to 18K. I don't think it didn't go to 17.5 yet.
And then so those stop losses that you're talking about, is there anything that you've got in your specific in your training that discusses finding the liquidity? So that
liquidity, you can look at, there's an indicator called price by volume or volume by price, either price by volume or volume by price. And there's various versions of it, but it's almost like it's a bar chart. It will show you where the volume is up and down the chart. So I don't actually really use it, but you can use that if you're looking to see like where transactions were, at certain price levels.
Because doesn't the market just simply chase liquidity at all times? Isn't that what it's supposed to do?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Absolutely. I think it will seek that out. I mean, it seeks out action. And all we can really do is decide when we're going to jump into the arena. And that's a plan which we can define. And we can define it because, it bounced to 100. It went above 100, came back below it. So now I'm short. And I'm wrong if it gets back up above 100 again.
Right.
That's just like a clearly defined, thesis. You have to come up with something like that somewhere along the line to try to kind of navigate what's going on. So, think about, you need a move to fade. If you're trying to go short, you need it to bounce first. If you want to go long, you want it to dip first.
Yep.
So wait for a move to fade, and then define your idea.
Cool. You're the man, Chet. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks for hanging out, man. Take care.
Later.
I'm Big Cheds on Twitter. You need to go to my YouTube, Cheds Trading. Tons of free videos. I made them for you. I'll keep going here until I run out of mojo. But you can hit that button in the bottom left to request to speak. Let's do Black Beard.
Hey, Cheds. Appreciate all the information you put out on Twitter.
I appreciate you hanging out. What's going on?
So my question more about the stock market and macros and as pertains to crypto.
Yep.
So right now the DXY is on a bull run, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm currently sitting in a short on the S&P in profit.
Nice.
I'm looking at the 12 hour and the daily, and it looks like we're gonna hit 119, 120 sometime between October and December.
Yeah.
Based on what you see, could that be an opportunity for the Dixie to pull back to the 21 EMA and give the S&P a short-term rally and crypto a short-term rally until the Fed pulls away the punch bowl again after the Christmas season?
Yeah, I mean it's fun to talk about now, but like it's not actionable. I mean, yeah, like why not wait and see? I mean, no, I can't come on in here and tell you you're right or wrong. I mean, so
yeah.
I actually think the Dixie you're counting. I don't think I think you got to look more at 117, 118 because you're starting to get into the meat of that resistance area. I think we should be careful picking out the top of it and thinking it's going to make it all the way up there. Right? I think it makes a much higher probability we really get to 117, 118, but I think we could very easily slow down there, even under the most bullish scenarios. So I would say don't get caught waiting for 119 if we're at 118. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying there. And if and when that trend turns around, from what I understand, that's good for risk assets. But it's not going to change what I'm doing, which is just watching the charts I'm trading and trying to, wait for a move to fade, waiting for volatility, and marking it out and waiting for opportunity. For whatever the driver of that opportunity is great. But I personally don't spend too much time trying to think about that stuff because it's all speculation.
So one final question I do have is, how do you overcome second guessing yourself? Like my thesis is, yes, this is what the trend is showing me, but the indicators are telling me, hey, this is starting to reverse. Like the 12 hours showing up a bearish divergence.
Well, here's what you can do. If you're not sure, write down the trade idea on a piece of paper and could you convince your best friend to take the idea? Like, is it a good trade, right? So write it down on this piece of paper as convincingly as you can. Go outside, go do a walk, maybe do 20 push-ups, shoot a couple free throws, come back in and read it again. And if it still makes sense, go for it.
Okay.
Try to slow yourself down. Slow yourself down and look back at it again. Because if you still believe it after that process, it's probably a good idea. And then you have to have confidence in your ability to manage your risk if things go poorly. You have to know that I'm going to go for this, but if my idea blows up in my face, I'm going to be able to cut my losses and move on. And if you don't have that confidence, then just don't do anything.
Yeah.
All right?
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
All right, no problem. Let's go to Cliff or Sid's. Checking mate. Sid's Life 999. What up?
What's up, Chad? What's up? I had a question, more of a kind of like portfolio management question.
Mm-hmm.
So I started trading like around 2 or 3 years ago with Tesla, like made a lot of money on it, and then I ended up like buying into a lot of stocks, and with those profits, I sold off a little bit of it, locked in big profits, bought into stocks. Now, my question is that like on some of those stocks, I got wrecked. I got wrecked on some of them.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like sitting here now, and I'm like, I'm starting to like trade in terms of technical analysis and like short-term trading, where I'm more of a swing trader before. And I have this portfolio with all this money, and there's these stocks that are just wrecked. And I'm like, all right, do I like wait and like, because we already got, so fucked and we're so low right now. Do I just hold them out and wait for a bounce and sell out, or do I kind of like sell out now?
I can't really individually. You should never be in a position where you don't have. Well, here's a couple things. First of all, have you watched my masterclass series on YouTube?
I have not the full
Oh
thing.
yeah,
I did watch some of it.
Yeah, I would not risk another penny until you've done that. I mean, I'm serious.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. And there's three beginner master classes and one advanced. They're free. So you're
Okay.
kind of crazy to trade without watching those. It's going to teach you about support, resistance, moving averages, candlesticks, everything you need to get started if you're actually serious. But like, you're never. Here's the thing. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, we're oversold, and at some point we're due for a bounce. But could we go 40% lower? Yeah. So, like, are you ready to hold through that? I mean, that's up to you. You're never stuck in a trade. This is something I reject. Over the years, I've had people say to me, I'm stuck in this trade. What do I do? You're never stuck in a trade. You're simply choosing to remain in a failed idea.
Mm-hmm.
You're always in control. We have to remind ourselves we always have the ability to buy more, sell some, or just say we're going to hold. Like, that's our choice. So it's the minute we kind of take responsibility away from ourselves, we get in trouble. We say, well, I can't do anything because of whatever. No, you always are in control. So we need to manage our risk, always feel in control to kind of have good outcomes.
Yeah.
I don't know about what you're holding. I'm not a fundamental analyst. I would say most of them are probably in downtrends. You have to think about you sound young. You're probably like half my age. So you're probably what, like 22?
Yeah, exactly. I am
Yeah.
22.
Yeah, I can hear. So come on, I got you, bro. So look, I wouldn't be sweating like being down on unless on anything reasonable you're holding, because your time horizon is multi-decade. So watch those videos, figure out what you're trying to do, find a way to feel in control, and that would be my advice to you. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Chats. Thank you, man.
Cheers, bro. How about that? That was a perfect age assessment. Ebram, nice to see you, Ebram. What's up, Ebram Sharif?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm walking back home, so if it's that noisy, you can just mute me and pick up the next person.
Well, just give me your question and I'll answer it.
Yeah, sure. So yesterday, I think Bitcoin was a little bit fishy. Everything is dumping, but somehow it held. I tried to come up with a thesis looking at, okay, the Nasdaq has relative strength to the S&P, the Dow Jones. Could that be the reason, or something is happening there? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and it's a great question. So I don't know the answer. I was tweeting it out that something didn't make sense. I kept kind of been expecting Bitcoin to break down, and equities were pounding lower, and Bitcoin was like hanging in there, 18K. And then on Friday, I took 2 long trades that got stopped out like in the last 4 days. I mean, they're small losses because I was scaling in, but I took a long in Bitcoin into the weekend because equities closed reasonably strong right at the end. And I was thinking, Bitcoin didn't dump, and I'm like, it should have dumped. So I'm gonna take a little long here. Maybe it's going to rally into the weekend. And then I tried again on the failed breakdown. I tweeted that out, the Hikake, the inside bar break. And then I'm back up above 20. That gets stopped out as well, but it was like a tiny loss. I don't know what's going on here, honestly. Yes, it had shown relative strength to Nasdaq. Had shown relative strength. Bitcoin, the dollar was rising and Bitcoin was rising. So I don't know what was going on. So but on the other hand, I don't spend nearly as much time trying to think about that because I'm much more interested to see what Bitcoin does here with this daily candle, where it closes, what kind of follow through we have on this candle. This is a bad candle for bulls because there's a big failed momentum swing. So I'm just interested to see, if we press the lower Bollinger on the 4-hour, right? Those, I'm looking to see if for bounces, looking to see if we press that 17.5 low, or we can get it back above 20K. Like that's much more interesting to me because I don't know why Bitcoin had been holding up and why it was rising with the dollar. That was weird. That was yesterday. So I don't know what's going on, honestly. But for me, that's much less important. You know what I mean? So
the context of my question would be, sure, maybe let's not try to find out what's happening, but when do we flip bullish? When do we know that the bearish thesis is now wrong?
Well, there's a great question. There's gradations or levels of that. I think there's opportunities to go long, which would be if we flip 20, get back up above 20K, you can use that as your pivot. If we get back up above 22.5, which was the failed higher low, you can use that as your pivot, or you get back up above 25.5. I think that would be your pivot. If you want to wait even further for really more confirmation, get back up above the daily MA200 and close above it. That would be the strongest sign in, like 9 months. And that would be around 30K. So there's gradations, there's levels. The ship, it takes a ship a while to turn around, right? The water doesn't go from cold to hot, just like that. It becomes lukewarm and warm first. So watch those different levels. Decide if you want to use that to structure your risk. Let's move on here to Dave. Dave, it's your turn. What would you like to say, Dave?
Hi, Chad. How you doing, man?
I'm hanging. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. Yeah, big fan of yours. Thank you very much for everything you do.
Thank you.
So I was so I was interested in a tweet I seen you put a few days ago. You think roughly Bitcoin could have a 54K top next bull run.
Yeah.
So I was interested to think about how you maybe think it plays out between now and then obviously when it hits the bottom to sort of, the hype around the Bitcoin halving next year. Do you think it sort of hovers between?
I love the question, but it's like every time you go out one step, your degree of confidence goes down 80%. Like trying to predict what's going to happen, wherever we bottom, because it just depends on the texture of that bottom. So there's no way to really map it out, but just kind of me thinking intuitively, me just kind of spitballing and checking my gut, and think about a generalized scenario without understanding the specifics. I think, okay, I could see 54K being the next top. It just makes sense because now it's a lower high, right, from that 69K, and then we can consolidate off that for a year or two, a couple of years. Because I'm thinking, 4, 5, 6 year consolidation range. 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking multi-year consolidation range. So
I thought it was interesting because you never really see anyone, call for the next top to be lower than the previous. So I was just really interested,
Well, listen, brother, we've never broken below the prior all-time high before. I mean, we're clearly in new territory.
Yeah.
And awesome. I think it's clear to me too many people are taking too much for granted.
Yeah.
Assuming we're just going to make a new all-time high. So, all right.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for stepping up. Thanks for contributing. Talk to you soon, bro.
See you, man.
All right. Just again, I'm Big Chats on Twitter, author of Trading Wisdom. Get it for free on YouTube. I'm so happy to have you folks listening and waiting. I'm going to try to get through to all of you. Perry Vonk. What's up,
Hey,
Perry?
Big Chads. Big fan. I listened to everything you got. Bitcoin Live, all of it.
How are we doing? How do you like Bitcoin Live?
I love Bitcoin Live. I learn something every Wednesday and Sunday.
My man.
So I'm slowly getting better at finding the reversals, getting through things, like starting to figure things out. I'm feeling more and more comfortable doing small trades. My big question to you is stop loss and being in profit. So I find a lot of times that I'm getting better at, I'm finding things, I'm getting in. I don't know if it's a little bit maybe too late, but at the same time, things are going well. I'll start taking profits as I'm going. But then I find a lot of times, if I'm trying to do this as an intraday trade, I'm getting stopped out, but I've moved everything into profit, but that last bit is getting stopped out. So my question is, how fast do you move into profit when your stop loss into profit?
How fast do I recommend? There's different questions here. So first of all, are you using multiple positions or one position?
Well, what I've been doing is I've been using one position, but doing partial profits and partial stop losses.
That's good. I think that's fine. Yeah, my point is you want to give yourself flexibility, because what I like to do is stagger. I'd like to move maybe have 4 positions. I'd like to move 2 into profit, maybe 1 at break even, and maybe 1 back at that same loss, especially in kind of a volatile environment. Okay, number 1. Number 2, we're in. There's a difference between a trending market and a kind of a consolidating choppy range. I mean, this is a hard range to play. It's much easier to play until we hit that 17.5 low. because now we've been choppy sideways, just like we were in February and March.
Yeah, like I've been trying to do intraday trading, and I'm finding it very difficult. Short terms are much easier, but multiple days, I'm like, because I'm working right now, so you're trying to work and not look at the charts all the day. So, but I'm finding it really difficult with the chop.
Well, it's a choppy range. It's not going to make it easy for you. A trending market is one, like when Bitcoin's when Bitcoin is 60K, all you had to do was buy the daily EMA 8. When it was free falling, all you had to do was sell the daily EMA 34. So when it's trending, it's a lot easier. When it's chopping, I mean, it's not really easy for anybody, but the best opportunities are still going to come on up thrusts and springs, right? They're gonna, very simply just going to come on momentum reversals, failed breakouts, failed breakdowns. So if you're just understanding that most of the time do nothing and wait for those, it's probably going to clear things up a little bit for you, number one. And then number two, split your positions up, leave one back at loss, maybe one to break even, and slide the other two into profit. Try that out.
Okay. Yeah, like the problem is sometimes you wake up and you watch like Link has gone through the roof and you missed it.
Guess what? It's a garbage chart. You don't miss. You're never going to miss that. We're not talking about what? Miss Link? What? There's no such thing as missing, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Because if it's a great move, you're going to get so many times to jump in on a breakout, on a throwback. Like that's an illusion. We create these terms that we missed it to disempower ourselves, to take away power from ourselves. Why do we do that? That's an illusion. That's not true. That's not how you don't miss anything, right? If it's as strong a move as you've been telling me it's going to be, and it's going to run for the next few months, who cares if you missed the first few percentages of it? Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a mental battle, brother. All right.
It is. It really is. Thank you so much for all you do.
I appreciate you. Keep grinding, man. Thank you. All right. Leanne, nice to see you. What's going on, Leanne? What would you like to say?
Hi, Chad. It's great to speak to you.
Thank you. How's everything going?
Oh, it's really good, thank you. I've learned so much from you, probably more than I have from anybody else, actually. So massive thank you from me to start with.
Thank you.
It's early days for me in my trading journey. I've only been focusing for the last couple of months full time on learning to trade, learning about the markets and everything. But I've gone in pretty hard with the learning, loving it. Trading as I go, just keeping my size really small and my risk really tight. But one question that I had is about, and last night is a good example actually, is about trade entry, because what I find is I spend a lot of time in front of the charts, I plan out my trade, and then often the entry that I was waiting for will come maybe during Asia when I'm asleep in the UK. So like last night, I had 20K as a pivot as well, and I was waiting all day and I was watching certain levels. I was watching 19.3, 19.6, and then I thought, right, 20K is my pivot, I'll go long. And then of course I wake up and it's already blasted through that level, and I'm not going to chase. So I sat it out because I knew we were coming into resistance, maybe at around 20.4. I was watching to maybe go long again if we could break through 20.4. But so I guess my question is, if you don't have an automated trading system, and obviously if you have to sleep, as we all do, do you ever just set an order to buy? Or the issue I have with that is I like to see how price gets to a level. I like to see how it interacts with that level. I don't just like to set a blind order and then wake up and find it's triggered and then I'm not able to manage it. So I guess my question is around that, really.
So it sounds being very thoughtful, which is the right approach. In terms of like setting an order that I'll just like sleep on, that's like a very low ball order. Like I'd go to bed tonight, like buying Ethereum at 500. Like I have no problem with that.
Exactly.
Right?
Me too. So, I've got those as well.
Okay. So that's, so that's a low ball order. And it's also not a full size. It's just an initial entry.
Exactly.
But so what you can do is so we had a little warning last night that something might be going on. I tweeted out that false breakdown signal.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like, okay, that's weird. And it's like, everybody knows I'm bearish because I'm studying the trend, but like, I'm always looking for the trend to reverse. I'm always looking for all the signals. And we had the triple inside bar, 3 bars inside each other. And then it broke down, but then it reversed. So I'm always paying attention. So you're starting to be on posture.
Exactly. Yeah.
Number one. Number two, you can set an alert for the price when it gets close. Maybe, whatever you're, TradingView or
I do that
something.
too, and then obviously I'm asleep.
So listen, sleep though. Listen, but you can't. I mean, is it even worth? Is it? I don't know if it's worth losing. It's pretty important, right? What sleep is doing for you, it makes you better when you're awake. So is it really worth it? You know, you can be woken up for, 20K is not as nearly as important as the break of 22.5K.
Yeah,
Okay.
25.5 exactly.
Or 25, or 25, 22.5, the failed higher low, or 25.5. So, and 20K has been choppy anyway. So that's, but maybe I'd set an alarm for a 17.5, because that's a big level.
Exactly.
But your sleep's important. So you got to weigh those things out. Maybe you can have it alert you when the price is closed. That's one thing to do. But I wouldn't have a buy. I wouldn't have like a stop limit buy. Definitely not. I would want to monitor that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think partly it's a UK thing, I guess, I don't know, I haven't lived anywhere else in the world, but, I find that a lot of stuff happens during Asia at the moment in particular, but I think we're not always on the best timeline in the UK. A lot of stuff happens obviously early evening into the evening when we're asleep, but yeah, okay, that's really helpful though. Thank you.
That sounds like you need to move to Singapore.
Exactly. I love Singapore. Absolutely. But but thank you. That's really
You're
helpful.
Welcome. All right. Good luck.
Thanks so much. Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
All right. Take care. Yeah, that's tough. It's 24/7 market. So how do you manage that? I mean, most of the time it's not a problem, but like January 24th, I didn't really sleep that night. I was up all night. February 24th, you go pull up those days in the chart. Magali, what's up, Magali? What would you like to say? Just 2 people left. We're going to wrap this up then. 400
What's
people.
up, Chad?
What's up, Magali? How you doing, man? What's going on?
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We are fine here. So I want to ask you, thank first for letting me in. And I would like you to talk about liquidity. I know you recommend some books above. I'm sure some of those have volume topics, but at first, when we are trading, we take a TA first, and then we go to liquidity grab or liquidity reverse, or just volume profile reflected in orders. I don't know how to do it very well. I just see some posts of Steve from Paracurve or Trader TZ. They post some things on orders book. I don't know how to read it,
So
and I would like you to.
Yeah. So listen, these are great topics, and I'm happy you're here. And those are some fine traders you mentioned. You want to simplify your method. I mean, a guy like Trader SZ has been doing this a long time, so he can read the order book and he can get value from it. But I would never tell any of my students to start reading the order book. Less is more. You want to just focus on what the price is doing in relation to major support and resistance. Technical analysis will teach you how to identify the trend and then to understand where the trend strengthens and weakens. And that's all found in the chart. These other things outside of the chart, if you're really good down the road, maybe you can add them to the toolkit, but you have to master what's in front of you first. Go to my YouTube channel, watch the playlist, masterclass webinars, check all my market updates, listen to these Twitter spaces. Most of that will really get you most of the way to where you need to be to kind of get a good sense of how to read a trend. Stay away from the order book. Stay away from stuff outside the chart. It's only going to get you into trouble, especially if you're a new trader. Okay?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Have a good day. All right. Just last one here. I got through everybody. That's what we do here. Vazja Kutin. Vazja, what's going on?
Hey, guy. Thanks for letting me in.
Sure.
And thanks for the free alpha you're giving out.
Okay, thank you.
I noticed something in the chart. Maybe I would like to hear your opinion.
Okay.
On a daily chart between the 6th of September and 21st of September.
Yep.
If you look at the
Bitcoin. Bitcoin?
and RSI. Is it possible there is a bullish divergence which hasn't played out yet?
All right. I don't use RSI. I actually deleted it. I have to add it back to look for you because I think it gets you into trouble more than. Did I just really reset my computer? No, let's remind me later. Sorry. All right. Talking about Bitcoin. So first of all, RSI is a bounded oscillator, right? That means there's a fixed limit of how high or how low it can go. I actually recommend you do not use it for divergence.
Okay.
Especially regular or reversal divergence. You want to use the on balance volume, which is it's an index oscillator. It's a running tally. You can have any look back period. RSI 14, you really shouldn't be drawing divergence more than 14 bars, number one, right? But it's a bounded. OBV has no look back period. It's just a running tally. It makes sense, right? But I'll answer your question. Let's see. RSI, I'll have to add it. Indicators, let's see. Relative strength index. So from the 6th, okay. Now you're drawing. So first of all, you're drawing divergence based on the candle body close. Should remember that as well. And if the price closes right here, there is no divergence. It's basically you have a higher low in close on the both. You have a higher low in both situations. So there's no RSI divergence if we closed right here. If we close anywhere kind of between here and like 19.5, really you'd have no divergence. If we drop down to about like 18.2, you'd have some RSI divergence. But who cares about RSI divergence? It's a bounded oscillator. It's going to get you in trouble. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Cheers. All right. Let's move on to the last few folks. I do want to wrap it up. So Cardinal, what's up, man?
Richard, what's good, man?
What's good, man? What's up with you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just trading as always, you know.
Yeah. So where you at? What's the deal?
I actually sort of nailed the move today. Like I longed, was it 18.8, tip it out 20.3, opened the short there. When I saw the 4H outside bar, and there's this thing I use, swing failure, so I took a short there.
Oh,
and
nice.
now still in the short.
I didn't see the 4H outside. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to ask you something. Can you pull up your ES chart? S&P minutes, E-minutes.
Yeah.
Oof. That's a nasty daily candle, very nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now, for context, we have the outside bar, the lower Bollinger.
Yeah, but it's the wrong spot for an outside. I mean, it's outside bar, but it's not it's not green. And with the outside bar, you want to. It's where it closes too in the outside bar.
Oh, yeah. So if it was to close here, can we just say that's a strong signal for continuation instead of like?
Well, closing here would be a strong signal for continuation, but if it closed at like 3,700 or something, that would be a big reversal signal for me.
Oh, okay. So watch out for that then.
Yeah, I mean, if it jumps up, whatever, 100 points or something, yeah, that's a big move.
Yeah, true that. And Euro dollar also.
What is it?
Euro USD.
Oh,
Euro
SPY
dollar.
breaks the June lows. There it is.
Fresh lows. You know, the painful thing for me is I've been in a swing short since 4,280 ES, and I closed it this morning thinking we're going to bounce here.
Yeah.
And I'll get a chance to short higher, boy. It's all good.
It's got to shake out. The market has to shake out good traders. And that's what happened, man. It shook you out.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it was still a good trade anyways.
Yeah. Hey, listen, keep grinding. I'm going to move on, but I'm glad I heard from you, okay?
Yeah, man.
All right, take care. I'm going to get you last two. I'm going to finish up with you two no more. So LW and Coach, I'll bring you up. You'll be the last two. So LW, what would you like to say?
Hello.
Hey, Chaz.
Hi. What's up?
Hey, I'll get to you in a second, Coach. LW, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Chaz. Thanks for teaching us trading. Can I just check with you for Bollinger Bands? How the settings? Do you use the default that is on Binance, or do you have a custom one that you
default?
Default.
No, default.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm actually learning. Thank you so much.
Listen, check out and thank you, brother. Have you watched my masterclass webinars on YouTube?
Actually, I signed up for Bitcoin Live like 6 months ago, but then I didn't really understand it that much, so I went to classes outside. I mean, I went for external classes, and then now I'm probably gonna go back to Bitcoin Live again because it was really, I was too new. That's why.
So this is why when people sign up to Bitcoin Live, the first thing I tell them to do is go watch my YouTube masterclass webinar, like, because that gives you everything you need to know to understand.
Okay.
No matter what you're doing, you have to watch that playlist masterclass webinar.
Okay.
And then come on back, man. We've been killing it.
Okay. Thank you so much for
All right?
contributing
Thank
to
you.
us. Thank you.
Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for talking. All right, Coach, you're the last one. Coach, what's going on, buddy?
Hey man, what's up?
How you
I
doing?
just want to say thanks for the Bitcoin Live stuff you're doing and also the other contributors. So I got one quick question. Let's say if looking at the chart, if we see the BTC, we all know that you're looking at 12K level. So what would be like on the Ethereum chart? What would be the level? Let's say
$500.
$500.
300 to 500. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thanks, man.
brother. Thank you for
Thanks.
that. Was nice and easy. I'm Big Chuds on Twitter. I am Chuds Trading on YouTube. This will be uploaded to the playlist, Twitter Spaces. I think this will be conversation number 15 or so. I'll take this last one. All right, Mohammed, I'll get you in. Mohammed, last one, I promise. I love these conversations. I don't want to leave you hanging. Mohammed, let's get your question in real quick, and I'm going to wrap things up. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Chad, how are you?
Good, man. What can I do for you?
Yeah, talk about a shakeout, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this has been insane, and I think you've nailed it right to the T when you said
I can do better. Everybody can do better.
No, I mean about yesterday when you tweeted about ES, how it's been so weak and BTC's been holding something not right. I think all of us should have taken this as a signal. So I agree. So I think we're heading low to the June lows definitely right now. I think thinking about longing the market before we hit that level is insanity. So I just wanted to hop on and say good luck to everyone and hope to flip around the conditions too.
Yeah, just stay. Hey, man, all we got to do is survive for the next bull run. So just define your risk and hang in there, bro.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
Wait for opportunity. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Chad.
I love these conversations, and I love hearing from you folks. It's the best way to have a good conversation. It's the best way to make things honest and real. And, on Twitter, we're just fighting with each other and there's no nuance. It's hard. You can't hear anything in the tone of the voice. I mean, if you listened earlier, I guessed that guy's the exact age. I mean, I probably would have been within at least 3 or 4 years at worst, but we get to hear from each other and it's honest, it's real. I love these spaces. So if you're listening now on the replay on my YouTube channel, thank you for listening as well. Just to remind you, I'm the author of Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. I have a new book coming out in the next month or two, Trading Quotes. I'm getting ready to publish that. You can get the free version of Trading Wisdom on my YouTube channel. Check out all the playlists. If you're serious about learning how to trade, you've already heard from a few of our members here at Bitcoin Live. I'm a founding analyst. I do a twice a week full market report. No matter what's going on in my life, I make a report. I haven't missed one in years. I'm just one member in a world-class team. I think probably the best team in the world that studies Bitcoin. And I'm actually pretty confident in saying that. So if you're interested in learning how to trade, check that out. Check out all the great free resources. And thanks for hanging out today. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I know these are choppy markets. I would encourage you to wait, and scale in lightly. Don't take any big risks right now. This is a very tough environment. So be careful out there. Keep on grinding. Keep learning. And I'll talk to you soon. Big Cheds out. That was fun. Thank you. Thank you, folks. This was a little bit quicker, a little bit shorter than the normal one. Usually it's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But now this will be uploaded to the playlist on my YouTube channel, your channel. Go to the playlists, Twitter Spaces. So these conversations are awesome, especially if you're a new trader. I kind of encourage you to go back and just kind of listen to them and soak them up. Let's see. So there's people reading the comments. I stepped away and just catching up on some of them. Someone says, how do I get this on a live call? just follow me on Twitter and hit that notification. I usually do maybe one of these a week, 1 or 2 a week, so you'll be able to find me there. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for kind of being part of this. And quick reminder, the free version of my book, Trading Wisdom, you can get that here on my YouTube channel. You can get the book itself on Amazon. And please consider checking out Bitcoin Live if you're serious about learning how to trade, folks. I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Big Cheds out.